Guys, I'm a fucking idiot because I'm doing this solo. I did not properly check how in focus I was and how the framing was, so I apologize very, very much. This is gonna be a little bit of a hot mess visually, but regularly scheduled programming next week, so. What's up, everybody? It's the sister going solo today. Alyssa is out Ubering. She finally started her new job and I'm very excited for her. And everything seems like it's going well, knock on wood. And yeah, she's just catching up on some stuff. It's been crazy for both of us lately, but I wanted to get something out. And I'm gonna attempt to tackle something that I wanted to do a week or two ago, but I was too chicken shit to do it. And I'm still a little chicken shit. And I'm also very exhausted for no particular reason. I'm burnt out from working all weekend, working all week the week before, and now working all this week. I'm gonna just have this is gonna be a nice chill session, a chill video. This is probably going to be the weirdest fucking thing I will ever upload. It might be very funny, and it might be very embarrassing. If you like cringe, then buckle up, grab a seat, grab a snack. This is gonna be something. But yeah, I've got a candle, I've got some tea, because I needed something. And I also have a half-finished bottle of Riesling because I wanted to attempt to make this a drinking game. However, I don't prefer hard alcohol. I'm the kind of person who drinks for taste, which, yes, I know, I'm very autistic. Like, I've never been like a drinker. The most drunk I've actually gotten is just tipsy. So like, I'm going chicken shit right now. Fuck it. I'm in the driver's seat today. I like Riesling, frankly, and I have work tomorrow, so. Anyways, I should probably stop avoiding the main topic of today. I'm gonna tell y'all a story. Not just tell y'all, read a story, okay? We're gonna do a story time of my stupid, cringe, old fanfiction. Now this is probably a decade old by now. Like 2013? I think it was late 2012, early 2013. That I was really, really popping off, like writing every single fucking day, non-stop. And I have what I lovingly call my library to show for it, where it's like, literally it takes up an entire shelf of notebooks that I either filled or mostly filled. And my God, I had no social life, but it was a fun little escapism. It's very cringe to read, but I also look back on it with a little bit of nostalgia, because like, I was really proud of it at the time. It made me happy. I was a pretty lonely kid. Like, yes, I had like friends during the daytime at school, but when I went home, it was just me. And I didn't venture out very much and do much, because when you have a lot of anxiety, you tend not to leave your little comfort zone. And I'm the kind of person where when I find either a piece of media or a musician that I really resonate with, it will take over my entire personality, my entire being, for an undetermined amount of time. and you guys have seen this in real time with my complete obsession with Phantom of the Paradise, which, by the way, I still have this stupid fucking video where I had Alyssa react to the movie. We watched it in real time and recorded her reaction, and I have everything edited except for putting the actual clips into the video, which I do want to do. I just don't have time and energy to put in the effort to do it. And I'm trying to see if I can hand it off to an editor, but also it's like low on my list of priorities, so I don't know when that's gonna happen. But we recorded it like last November-ish, so that will be coming out eventually. It's like, it's all ready to go except for putting in that footage. So it will see the light of day. I'm very excited for it to come out. I skimmed really quick through some of my old notebooks to find something, and I found one that is, I think, a good example of what you're in for if you crack open one of these notebooks. It's corny and cringe and very clearly written by a child. I was 13, 14 years old, and my God, it shows. Oh, Jesus, I can't believe I'm doing this right now. But I would rather do this solo and at my own pace and just like ease myself into this, because it's like, it feels terrifying a little bit, but at the same time, I know this is going to be really fucking funny. Like, I know I'm sitting on a gold mine of content if I can just get over myself enough to be like, yes, I can laugh at this. And I can laugh at it, but it's so corny that I'm, like, bracing myself for it. So before I have to restart the camera, I have a very long list of cliches and tropes and things that keep coming up when I read through my really old fan fiction. And I've turned it into a drinking game. Me and Alyssa made bingo boards that we're gonna do for an actual drinking game one of these days. We just have to find a time where, like, we can actually do, like, a legit drinking game, like, drinking, and not have to worry about what we're doing the next day. Which, now that I'm going to be moving in, we actually have a moving date, 2 weeks. Now that I'm going to be moving in here, that will be significantly easier. But I'm just going to be reading off of the list today and taking a little sippy poo off of this when things come up, if I can speak. I haven't had a damn sip. I know that's half open. I opened it like a week ago. I'm a slow drinker, what can I say? But anyways, without further ado, here's my list. Song lyrics on the cover, which I would write song lyrics onto the cover. Song lyrics being lyrics of whatever song I was vibing with. Usually a Beatles song or a Monkees song. This one was Last Train to Clarksville. I don't know why I picked that one, but go off, Queen. Cheesy title for a fic based on a song. This is either a cheesy title or based off of a song, but if it's based off of a song, that's really cheesy, I think. Whiteout, I would always write in pen. And I did so much whiteout, oh my god. There's probably a lot of whiteout in here. Spelling errors / pretentious British spelling. I had a phase when I was really young where I was like, I wanted to be British so bad that I started to like pick up on random slang and try to like use these very specific things, and I would like write things, I would spell things like the British way. I was a painful human to be around. Oh, one thing, before I continue with my list, one thing that I don't know if I clarified, but the really everything that I wrote during this time period in my life was Monkeys fanfiction, like the band The Monkeys, because I was really, really getting into the television show and their music. I still love them. I still have a lot of nostalgia for them, and it's still genuinely enjoyable for me. But I had the most severe crush on Mickey Dolenz way back when, so all of my fics revolved around this. I did so much drawings, fan art of it, that was even more cringe than this. So, just so you have the context of what specifically this fanfiction is about. So, spelling errors / pretentious British spelling. Calling someone horny. I don't know why that always came up, but that came up a lot in my writing, and it's so cringe. Hitting / throwing things. Hitting as in hitting people. Again, don't know why I was so violent. Ooh, this next one was really fun. Morally superior hippie moods. I was a kid who grew up watching MASH, and it shows. I thought I was Hawkeye Pierce. I don't know how I turned out halfway normal. I'm almost normal. Almost. Telling, not showing. Which, as a writer, that's like the #1 sin of writing. You're supposed to show, not tell. But here again, I was 13 years old, so I didn't know that. Character named after a famous person. This also leads into the next one. Character that is a famous person. I would very often, like, all I wanted to be writing about was, like, the celebrities that I knew of, like, all the musicians that I knew of. So I was not being very creative with coming up with characters or character names. So just be like, fuck it, here's John Entwistle from The Who, you know? And there was an often very blurry line between a character that was like a stand-in for this actual person or like just legit that person. It's pretty much one and the same. It's a very blurry line, but sometimes I can tell like what the difference was supposed to be. Wedging myself into a band, as in being a part of that band. 2 guys fighting over me, because this was all self-insert. Like, I'm the most self-indulgent writer because it's fucking fun. I can't hate myself for that. I cannot. Is it cringe? Absolutely. But gotta have a little fun sometimes, right? Oh boy. Dotting the I in Mickey with a heart. Not only would I do this, I'm gonna put in pictures for this. Not only did I do this, every single time I wrote the name Mickey, it wouldn't just be a simple heart. I would like color it in. Like I would fill it in. How did I turn out normal? Bad reference to the Monkeys show. Reference to something about my childhood that changed. For example, there was one where I was like reading old stuff, and then I'm like, where I was like, you know, going back to my parents' house, and it was like we still had the same cats that I had when I was 13, and like my parents are still together. I'm like, yeah, no, it's been 10 years, those cats have passed away. Unfortunately, and parents are divorced, but it's all good. But like that was like fantasy world. There was also one when I was flipping through here where my height was, the description of my height was completely wrong, because when I was writing that, I was like 13, 14 years old, so I didn't really know how tall I was gonna be. So I completely guessed, and I was way off. I think I guessed like 5'8", but I ended up being 5'4" on a good day. I'm kind of 5'3.5", but I normally round up because it just feels better to round. Awful nicknames. Oh boy, they're bad. I don't know if I don't think we'll get to one in the one that I picked for today, but they get bad. Characters with the sole purpose of being intolerable. Because here again, a child wrote this. The next one is reference to a specific character that is kind of an anomaly. Not actually based off of any celebrity whatsoever. But he's come up in like multiple different things that I've written. And we're not going to get into that today. We're not going to unpack that today, but the character's name is Irving. That's what the entry is on this list. Explaining something without a need to, because here again, a child wrote this. Treating fics like a fictional diary. I play an instrument that I never actually learned. Fun fact about me, as obsessed as I am with music, I cannot play a goddamn note on any instrument whatsoever. At all. MASH reference, because here again I was obsessed with it. Using the word COS as a stand-in for because. Like abbreviating it to cuz. Someone goes to the hospital / almost dies. This is that we're gonna be drinking to that one in this one. Oh, here's again. You can tell that a child wrote this. Saving myself, which normally comes up in like the way earlier ones / being a prude. Cringe scenes badly scribbled out, where I wanted to like delete a chunk of something, but for posterity reasons I didn't want to like obscure it to the point where I couldn't read it at all, so that I could like go back to it to at least like see what it was. I'm a freak. Detailed description of only my outfit, because this is my rodeo. I'm in the driver's seat, and boy, am I gonna have a fun time. Heather's record collection, TM, which, by the way, in real life has sprawled to almost 1,000. It was over 1,000, and then I decluttered a handful, but I did get a couple more recently on my birthday trip, so not 100% sure, but it's close to 1,000. Groovy, because here again, obsessed with anything 60s. I was a super hippie to an intolerable degree. Mick's real name comes up, Mickey Dolenz. His real name is George Michael Dolenz. And for some reason, it came up in fics a lot. Giving myself musical talent I don't possess. I'm gonna file that under the instrument one, because when it comes to singing, I genuinely have some capability for singing. But as far as music, playing anything, not a zero zip zilch. I swear on my life I'm almost done with this list. Two-parters. When I would write, I would treat it almost like episodes of a television show, where every vignette, we'll call it, is like, it would have its own title, it would be its own like separate entity, but it would be kind of serialized, and I would do like two-parters once in a while. Superheroes / supernatural shit / monsters / vampires, etc. Because why not? They're fun. Bad rom-com tropes. Bad random character name, because if it's not a celebrity's name, I'm terrible at coming up with character names. It should be a crime for how quickly tea goes cold. Because I can't drink beverages that are too hot. I just won't. Like, it's not pleasant to me to burn my mouth. So, like, there's such a short window of time where it's actually drinkable. Next entry. Old Fix. Primarily in the really older ones. Intro / outro pages. A note from the author. This one does have one. However, I don't read those because I want to retain some level of sanity. And it's bad enough reading the actual content of this without, like, the self-indulgent, like I would almost treat this as, like, a retrospective, or like this was a work of art to be celebrated for posterity. Like, the balls on this teenager. Plot stolen from another show that did it better. There's quite a few times where this comes up. Cheesy speeches about how much character A loves character B. Not knowing how long it takes to plan a wedding. Because here again, a child wrote this. Not understanding how pregnancy develops / babies develop. Because here again, a child. I was very often it would happen where I would write in, like, a pregnancy fic, like, literally the next morning, oh, pregnant. Or it's like, no, it'll be a while before you know. I had no fucking idea. Writing dates as day, month, year format. Because here again, I wanted to be British for some reason, and that's the way that they'll do it. Like, instead of January 1st, they'll write it as the 1st of January, you know. Holiday-themed vignettes. Because every series needs a holiday episode. My character tries to be funny or edgy or cool or just like Hawkeye from MASH. Pranks, which were... Anytime a prank would come up in one of these, it was just very... ugh. The next one is in relation to a very specific one that we don't talk about. It will never ever see the light of day because it's just so fucking cringe. All you need to know is that it is the Mork one. Also relates back to plot stolen from another show that did it better. And the last entry is my psychedelically painted Mini Cooper, which was my imaginary dream car in this weird universe. I should probably keep this handy. I don't actually know how many of those points we're going to hit on today with this, but I thought it would be fun to do a dramatic reading of one of these vignettes, which... my old spiral notebooks, we've got the lyrics handwritten on the cover, graffiti on the back, which this one's kind of an anomaly because the others I don't think I really bothered with that, but this was like, I picked this book specifically to read from because it was it wasn't the first that I ever wrote any fanfiction in, but it was the first that was solely fanfiction. Like, I've got one notebook where, like, oh, the first thing I ever wrote is in there. And then it was this. And then chronologically the rest. So I wanted to go, like, way, way back. And I found one in here that... it isn't terribly, terribly long. But it will feel very long when I read it. I just thought it was a very good example of just the level of cringe we're talking about, the cheesiness, the corniness. all that good shit. Guys, I'm fighting for my life to stay awake right now. Oh boy. I'm emotionally preparing myself for this. I'm just making the build up worse. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. It totally is that bad, but I'm trying to lie to myself. I also want to do a dramatic reading because it's just funnier to act like I'm taking it seriously. This one is called Camping Trip. Hey guys, let's do something this weekend, all 5 of us. Any suggestions, I asked? I don't know if that scream can be heard on camera, but like, it probably can be. How about we go camping, Peter suggested. I've never been camping before. I see no reason why not. Mickey, Davy, Mike, how about it? Fine, replied Mickey. Sure, Davy shrugged. I'm going to try and catch a bear, said Mike excitedly, as though the thought of shooting a wild animal appealed to him. There's that morally superior hippie mentality. Oh shit. I forgot I'm supposed to be playing that game. Maybe I should say screw the alcohol, because like, it ruins the immersion. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna commit to the bit. We looked at him. I've got a permit. I rolled my eyes. Whatever. Poor bear. We went shopping. We got food. Mickey and Peter insisted we get jumbo marshmallows for s'mores, a tent large enough for the 4 of us to share, and other supplies. There was a wooded area used often for camping, so we camped out there. Girly Pop, you couldn't just say camping ground? Mike had brought his gun against my direct and persistent complaining about violence, weapons, using weapons, etc. Peter was hung up on s'mores, and Davy seemed to detest the outdoors. I was excited even though I was not an outdoors woman. Mickey seemed like he was glad to spend a weekend with his friends. We'd decided to spend the night outdoors on Saturday, so we set off Saturday evening before dark set in. At first, Davy was a bit creeped out by having to sleep on the ground, but he got over it. We roasted marshmallows over a fire, held by skewer sticks. When the rest of us went inside to sleep, Mike headed into the trees with his gun. Previously, we'd been telling stories around the campfire and singing songs. Everyone was in an excellent and joyful mood. But there was trouble in paradise. In the middle of the night, I got up to use the bathroom. Well, just a tree. Mike crouched down in the trees, thinking of going to bed, when he heard a rustle and footsteps. Oh boy, a bear was his immediate thought. The bear was in view. He could see its shadow. He aimed the gun and pulled the trigger, thinking, that's an awfully skinny bear. But it was too late. Inside the tent, Mickey couldn't sleep, no matter how hard he tried. Peter and Davy were fast asleep, and Heather had gone out to use the bathroom. He almost felt tired when he heard a loud bang, immediately followed by a shriek. He instantly knew what had happened and bolted out of the tent as fast as he could. I fell down naturally when the bullet hit my thigh. I'd never been shot before, and I'd hoped I'd never been shot again. I knew Mike shouldn't have brought the gun. All 4 monkeys ran over to me. Mike got to me first, almost immediately followed by Mickey. I'd never seen him run so fast. He was followed by Davy and Peter. Are you all right? I laughed at 4 voices saying the same thing at once, but it hurt. Yeah, I'm fine. Mike's a lousy shot. But we'd better get to a hospital. I felt myself being lifted by Mickey and carried into the back seat of the monkey-mobile. Mickey lay me in his lap, stroking my hair. You'll be fine, he muttered softly. Mike drove as fast as possible. I'm really, really, really sorry about this, he said. I could tell he was on the verge of tears. He really was guilty. I'm not mad. It wasn't really your fault, it was an accident. Don't blame yourself, I said. It was my fault. I didn't think before I pulled the trigger. I'm still not mad. Chill out, please. When we got to the hospital, it was pretty typical. Get her on a stretcher, get her to surgery, admit her, etc. In the waiting room, Mike buried his face in his hands. Peter was on the verge of tears. Davy looked shocked, and Mickey paced the waiting room. It's all my fault, Mike said. You heard what Heather said. It was an accident, and she's not blaming you, Davy told him. Will you sit down, man? You're getting me nervous, Mike said to Mickey, who was furiously walking back and forth. I can't. I'm just worried. She got the bullet in the leg. She'll be fine. I don't know why I'm so nervous. I just am. Mickey was on the verge of tears. All of his memories of the two of us came flooding in like a tidal wave. Goofing around, having fun, having serious conversations, the day we met, and everything else. They filled him with happiness, but when he thought of me wounded in surgery, he nearly lost it. Will you chill out, man? That's enough. Sit down before you make a puddle of tears, Mike commanded. Mickey hadn't realized that he was crying, but he knew why he was so worried. 2 hours later, the doctor came in and said that I was recovering and ready for visitors. Mickey, who'd been constantly fidgeting in his chair, hopped up almost immediately. She's still a bit groggy from the anesthesia, the doctor continued. The four followed him into my room. I woke up, blinking, taking in my surroundings. I clearly remembered what had happened. My legs still hurt, but not so much as before. I felt as though I was in a fog. The door opened and the guys stepped in. I smiled. Hi, guys. Mickey rushed to my bedside. How are you feeling, he asked. Better. It still hurts, but it's much better. Mickey nearly wore a hole in the floor of the waiting room, Mike told me. Oh, Mickey, you didn't have to. Mike's such a bad marksman, he only got my thigh. Mike scowled. That's what I told him. Can I talk to you alone? Mickey asked. Sure. The others left the room. Heather, in that waiting room, I was a wreck. All these memories of us, all the good times, they all came out, and I realized something. Heather, I'm in love with you, he said. I was breathless. Oh, Mickey, I'd be honored to be your girlfriend. We get along so well. He was grinning from ear to ear. I love your smile. That's the Mickey I know and love, I commented. Mickey grabbed my hand. I'll be here for you. I'll stay here with you. That's so sweet, but you don't have to. I don't care. I love you. I love you too. Jesus, that's fast. Mickey perked up, looking at the door. He frowned. Then he walked over to the door and kicked it. 3 yells sounded. I laughed. Mickey opened the door. The guys were standing right outside it. Obviously, they'd been listening into our conversation. Congratulations, said Peter. I smiled. Nothing's changed. We're just together now. Mickey walked over to Mike and whispered something in his ear. Okay, I'll get them. He walked off. A little while later, he came back with my record player and a stack of my Beatles albums. Hey, where's that record collection? Thanks, Mike. I was wondering what I would do, being cooped up in here. Don't thank me, thank your boyfriend. He suggested it. I grinned. My boyfriend. I looked happily at Mickey, who was still holding my hand. That sounds so great. It sounds right. A few days later, I was released from the hospital. I promised Mickey that when I was feeling better, we would go on some dates. I knew that for the first, I wanted to go to the place where we first met, the local park. And that's where it ends. Short but stupid. Like me. Anyways, I hope that was not a total dumpster fire. I'm not gonna lie, I was really nervous, but that was kind of fun to read out loud. Like, reading it in a manner where I'm definitely not taking it seriously kind of took the edge off a little bit. I don't know. This could come out to a total disaster in editing, but anyways, that's all for the week. Let me know if, you want to hear more of this dumpster fire, there probably will be more that come up along the line as we make more videos. But yeah, next time I dive into these, I probably won't be alone. So hope you enjoyed your little story time, and I'll see you next week. Bye!